Good evening. Well, here I am again. Tonight I'm going to talk about a interesting concept, but we'll get right into it. I'm just gonna say it. We hold the keys to the very things that happen and come into our lives. We hold the keys, not somebody else. Somebody else might help us get to a situation or get through a situation or whatever, but we hold the keys. It's about finding the answers within yourself. If you're going through a situation, let's just say you're having trouble with the partner, right? For most of us, we'll go to somebody else. We'll get somebody else involved in the equation, right? And we think that that's going to help. But what you'll find is instead of it helping, it only makes matters worse. Because now it just causes more confusion, right? You go to people hoping that you'll get answers and help and ways to figure the situation out, but in the long run, and after you go and evaluate it through that path of doing it, you find out that you don't get any more clarity than before you went into it. But then you'll find if you go home or you go to a quiet place or whatever, and you sit there and you think and you ponder on it, and you do some self-evaluation, some self-reflection, some self-help psychology, if you will. And maybe you write down some things. Maybe you come up with a graph on how to navigate that minefield. You see that you held the keys to the answers and the knowledge that you were looking to get all along. Now, I've done this a lot over my life. And I've seen that instead of going to somebody else, I've always found that has been nothing but absolutely fundamentally flawed. Because instead of getting to the root of the problem, there's a lot of going around the problem, right? Instead of just going right through it and sitting down and figuring out the people that you're bringing into the problem, they just kind of go around it and they give you a bunch of information and a bunch of stuff where you don't actually need, right? So it causes more confusion. But the keys are right in here. And you're going to find the answers in here. Sure, they say go talk to somebody. Sure, they say go and, whatever, go get help or whatever. I mean, yes, there's legitimate situations where going and getting help is the right answer. But unfortunately, there are times where the key element here is figuring it out right here. Or at least giving this a shot by coming right here first. And if this doesn't work, yes, going and finding somebody that will actually help with a scenario. But we hold the keys. And I'm not talking about the keys in your pocket for your car or for your house. I'm not talking about that because, yes, we all hold the keys for that. No, I'm talking about the keys to getting through stuff, the keys to understanding scenarios and situations and problems and lions, tigers, and bears. I get a lot of people lately that have been asking me questions and been asking me this or asking me that. And I'm obliged to help them out. Why? Because I'm helping out another person. Because that matters to me. I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for trying to get something in return. I'm not in it to gratify anybody. I'm in it because it's the right thing to do to help people. Because let's face it, we are all in this together. We can't go under it. We can't go over it. But we can sure the hell go through it. And we should go through it together. Collectively. As a group. Right? Because if you take one person's hand and you guide them down a good path, and then you take another person and you guide them down a good path and you teach them the ethical and the moral and the clean ways of doing it, hopefully those two people that you help right there, they will take a hand and help a person. And then this person will take another person's hand. And next thing you know, you have this. Right? And next thing you know, you have a collective of people that are moving on the same path and doing it together. Learning the keys, knowing the elements that go into it, moving on the same path together, helping each other out, talking things through, getting through problems, educating each other, right? Like it becomes an evolutionary chain of change down a good path. Not all this stuff that we're all hearing about out here, not all these illusions that people want to produce that think that they're going to help people when actually they're not. And that's one of the biggest problems is everybody's confused because there's so much noise that nobody knows what's actually true. Nobody knows how to go about this the right way, so they're all just kind of going their own ways and trying to figure out whatever, and they're not getting anywhere. It's because they're getting the wrong information from the wrong people. They're becoming more lost than they are found. But right here is where most of it is you're going to find, that you need to find. But love you guys. If you need to talk about something, come chat. Until next time.